Hey everybody. Hey everyone. How are you guys doing today? It's a rainy day here in South Florida. I don't know if I'm technically South Florida, but close enough, right? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Joan. I'm the moderator of the Word I Am the Word Facebook teachings page. And um, I'm the one who posts it, and I'm the one who shares with you on Sundays at 10 Eastern Time. And like you, I'm a student of the work of Paul Selig. And these talks and the posts are meant for all of us to be able to journey through the work together and to learn and to grow. Ain't it cool? So my teacher jokes that sometimes many times she's the last to know things. And today a friend of mine texted me and said, "Hey, are you gonna have a talk today?" And I'm like, I don't know, am I? And here I am. So when I talk with you during the week, there's usually no real format. It's just sort of a free flow. So what happened for me today is I was listening to some old live streams of Paul Selig's, um, and one of the questions someone had was in regards to frames. And it made me really look at something that's like been brewing for me. You know how you like have these things that come up for you and you look at it and then you sort of look away because maybe you don't really want to address it or it's not the right time or, in my case, whatever excuse I might come up with. Um, so a frame, what is a frame? A frame, as Paul Selig and the guides talk about it in their books, is sort of like it's how you view yourself. And it may not even be a frame you created. It could be a frame your parents created, your teachers, your high school friend. It's something that someone saw or said about you, and then you took ownership of, right? So something someone said to me once was, basically that I would never amount to much. So that's a frame. And did I take ownership of that frame for a while? Sure. Do I have ownership of that now? Not so much, but every now and then it will still creep back up. And how does it show up for me? Unworthiness, self sabotage. So I have a measure of success or what I might deem of as success in an area. And then I go, I can't be that. And I just do whatever that ends that success, I guess, if you will. So how do we move past this? How do we use this work? How do I use this work to move past it? I can work through that. I'm worried through my knowing of myself as worthy. I'm worried through my knowing of myself as a powerful being of light. I can certainly use those things. I can look at that particular frame and I can ask for help in alchemizing that. So essentially just blowing up that frame. I can surrender to what is. And then sometimes all of those things, right? Our history is a frame, right? All of those things don't feel like they move me forward. I feel stuck. That's why part of the title was like wah, right? I'm in this wah phase. So I'm always honest with you in these talks, and I share a lot about my life because those are the stories that I have to help me to be able to understand not only for myself, but perhaps for you to understand. Right? So where am I at right now in like this whole judgment of myself? Oh, I can't be this and that. So here's where I'm at. And this has shown up for me before. So it's an awesome opportunity for me and perhaps for you. And it doesn't have to be about the same thing that's my sticking point. Your sticking point could be something entirely different, right? So I have this frame, and it's actually like I can look at my life and see where it shows up, shows up, shows up, and here I am. So I have this idea, this frame that says I can't be successful, I can't be powerful, I can't show up fully as who and what I am, and be my ideal weight. Now, my ideal weight is not what a book would say. It's where I'm comfortable at. And I'm about 40 pounds, I want to say 40 pounds from that, 35, 40 pounds. And it feels like for me, any effort that I make to eat differently, to exercise more, to exert some measure of what I would say is like control, does not work. Does not. And in the same breath, I might say to my wife, okay, I've really had enough of this. And will you make cookies? In fact, I just did that last night. So the frame says I can't be both. My past experiences show that when I'm at my ideal weight, I gain the weight back. If I go back into the experience of myself when I'm at, when I'm thinner, I'm more confident. If I look at it, I feel like more light. Not light as in God's light, but just light as in density, which probably still is God's light, right? I feel like I was more productive. Are all those things true? I don't know. It could just be my story. So we'll go back to how do I use this work to move past that, to move past this? How do I move this frame? And so I heard Paul say in his lecture, um, I think it was Humanity at a Crossroads, where the question was asked about frames. And the question asker referenced the Book of Freedom. Paul referenced the Book of Knowing and Worth, which is the book I have here. And Paul said, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically that the frame, the phrase, the claim, the attunement, I have come, I have come, I have come, just sort of, in my speak, alchemizes that. It alchemizes that frame. Because for me to claim I have come, I have come, I have come, I'm in the upper room. Now, I'm going to ask you the question, is it as simple as that? Is it so that's the surrender piece, right? And I've shared with you many times, and I'll share again, I have control issues. I don't like to surrender and not know an outcome. I don't like to surrender, period. Let's just be honest. That's just like, wait, what? I'm going to move forward in faith and in trust. And the comical thing is I actually do that. Like even this Facebook Live right now. This is all in faith. I have no plan thing. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just here because that's what my higher self guided me to do. So if we just go to the upper room, it's not just, that's a powerful place of being. If we feel ourselves there, I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. That creaking is my chair. I am free. I am free. I am free. I'm in the upper room. I have come. I have come. I have come. Behold, I make all things new. All things. And from this place, from the upper room, I don't know, what does that look like? Does that look like from that place I say, okay, I'm done with that frame that says I cannot be happy at my ideal weight and a powerful being? Can we please move that? Can we disintegrate that? Can we blow that up? I surrender whatever that is because I'm aware that I eat for comfort. And I think, well, it's better than drinking. Is it? Alcohol, sugar, what's the difference? Can't get a DUI. There's that. So I'm going to go to the book of Knowing and Worth. I'm on page 168 if you want to reference it later. So as you stand before yourselves today, you must make a decision. The demonstration of love and the responsibility of love, as you must extend to all you see before you. And the respect that you hold for your true self must be known by you in a way that you can attend to. The fear of being respected by others or the demand to be respected by others has nothing to do with you. In fact, the only respect that you need is from yourself. And the respect that we attend to today, the vibration that you hold as respected, is what you give permission to align to. Okay. This new Facebook Live is just. All right, so let's take that. Why am I reading that particular paragraph? Because for me, some of it comes down to respect. Or self-love. Somebody said to me today, I want this person. How I want this person to love me is how I want to love myself. And so seeking things outside of ourselves to fill the void within. There we go, right? I'm seeking something outside of myself. In my case, it's food, to fill the void, to fill the anxiety, to fill perhaps the trauma, to fill the place in me that feels unworthy. So instead of seeing myself as one, I see myself outside of. In good moments, in good days, most of the time, I know myself as word. And then I don't. And that makes me afraid. It makes me lonely. And not even in a way that I could consciously say to you, I feel lonely. I don't feel source. I don't feel the union. Which is so freaking stupid. How can you not? So I'm aware that many times my talks are like for me. They're for you. So it's back to what we bless blesses us. I'm blessing you with this talk, I hope. Maybe there's something in this to help you. And I'm blessing myself. Because I see what it is now. It's the fear of surrendering. and the separation that I still feel. So I go back to a different frame now. We're moved on from let's look at a bigger frame and maybe what the real frame is. When I was young, I had no real awareness of God. And what I did have, I wasn't in congruence with. And at one point in my life, in my very early 20s, if you don't know, I'm homosexual. So my very early 20s, my mom, who was a Bible reader, considered herself religious. I considered her religious. I thought she had a close walk with God. She basically disowned me. My choice was to not be who I was or be part of the family. And I remember on that phone call, I don't remember a lot of it, but it was a phone call. I remember saying to her, well, that doesn't sound like, the parts of the Bible that I actually have read. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And she had her own view, and many people have their own view, their own interpretation of what the Bible says, and that's okay. What I took from that, and what I still carry, is that I was wrong. I was wrong to be this. And I had no relationship whatsoever with God in a tangible way for many, many years. Maybe 15 or more. And in 2016, March maybe, I found the work of Paul Selig and Melchizedek, the guides. And I felt like that was a coming home. And so it's been through this work that I've started to heal. It's 4 years. So I share that with you to say, there's certainly no judgments about anything you're going through on your journey from me. And there's no timeline for us to heal this. Can it be instantaneous? Do some people experience it instantaneously? Sure. Because sometimes they're so ready that when it appears, there they are. And then there's myself, who fights it, who accepts it, who fights it, who accepts it, who fights it, accepts it. And then I judge myself for fighting it. It creates its own little maelstrom of discontent. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. It's like, how you can, this is how I can compare it. If you ever jumped out of a plane skydiving or done anything where there's a moment where you can stop and then it's gone. And whatever you've committed to, there's no turning back. So when you jump out of the plane, you can't go back in if you change your mind 2 seconds later, right? If you're hang gliding and you jump off the mountain, well, there you are. Figure it out. Be one with the journey. You know, you go in an airplane and the door's shut and the plane takes off. Well, yes, you can, turn around, but it's not the best scenario. You're pretty much committed to you're now flying to wherever, especially if you're flying transatlantic. Well, really, it's anywhere, but if you're over an ocean, saying. So in that moment, it's complete and utter surrender for me. So maybe it's easier in those moments. Maybe I found it easier because I was sort of jumping without. I mean, I had a net, but I knew once I committed, that was that. And here, I put my. So we'll stick with the skydiving analogy. If you've never done it, you can just imagine you're standing at the door of the plane. The door is open. You have a parachute on. In my case, I was jumping tandem, so I was attached to another person, parachutes. And you're standing there and you're looking out, and all you see is sky and if you're, wherever you are, trees or an ocean or whatnot. And you look down and you're 10,000 feet up, 15,000 feet up. And I'm going to be honest, when the first time I did it, I'm like, what am I doing? Sweet baby Jesus. And they told me ahead of time, when we get to the door, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you jump. Do not hesitate. Jump. And look straight ahead. Well, first off, I didn't pay attention to that part because I looked down, which freaked me out. And he said 1, 2, 3. And, he could push me out. He probably did. I don't know. But I felt like I leaned out. I owned that. And then I did it again and I owned that. And then I did it again. So how do I do this? What do you feel like is your sticking point? I have a big project before me. And it's a year away, but it's there. And in some days I'm excited for it. And in some days I run screaming from the room. The cool thing is, I know I'll show up. But I want to be the best version of myself. Which has many facets to it. But it all comes down to this. So I'm worried through my willingness to surrender. I'm worried through my fear of surrendering. My teacher, she says that we're always safe, loved, and protected. And the guides teach the same thing. I can hear those words, and I can agree with those words. But I'm not always able to take ownership of those words. Because the truth is, I don't always love myself. So how do you move past this? How do I move past this? Whatever your sticking point is. If you have one. And if you don't, God bless you. How'd you do it? I think about meditation. I'm like, I should just meditate every day. A friend of mine who's on this call, she meditates. And then it never shows up for me. And sometimes I make myself wrong for not showing up. Like, if I just get quiet, I can heal this. And why doesn't it show up for me? Am I doing something wrong? I have my own way. I don't know. I have to re-listen to my own talk. See if it helps. We're going to be uplifting now. And I'm going to say that I'll come back with an update at some point. And I'm going to be honest with you, you who are listening, or maybe you watch later, like there's a part of me that's like, why in the heck am I sharing this? When people are going to listen to me, like, why would they then listen to me on Sunday? Like, freak. Who the hell is she to teach? Who am I not to? The person who's figured it all out, that's not me. I've never said that was me. I always begin and end with, I'm journeying with you. And in my mind, maybe that makes it, I'm not on a pedestal. I'm just standing with you, trying to learn how to use this work to make my life better, to have my life be better. I'm going to fall down, God love my higher self. It says I should fall down in front of, right now, I don't know, 20 some people. However many watch it later. Just being authentic. It's who I am. All right, so I'm going to go back to the book of Knowing and Worth. And if you want to follow along in the book later, I'm on page 220 now. In a minute. In the chapter called The Doorway. And earlier, Nicole spoke about our frames being our history. That's what we started out with today, talking about frames. So actually, I moved to page 219. So when you stand on the threshold of a new choice, and you claim your power as the one who may do this. You align to great possibility, and achievement, we say, is the result of the possibility you have invited. Achievement in many ways, achievement in manifestation, achievement in love, achievement in worth, and all of these things are simply saying you have inherited the kingdom. The kingdom is here. It has always been here. It lies right beyond the doorway. Now, what you ask for, you are in agreement with. I want my mother to love me. Because you believe you need her love. I want my body to be beautiful all the time until I'm 100 years old. Maybe you're claiming your desire because you're in accord with your wishes. But you dance around the rooms that you have existed in, and you find the mirror that reflects what you want, and that is what you stand before. This is how I have known myself. This is how I believe myself to be. You look for your mirror to affirm who you have been, not who you are and who you have claimed to be. I know who I am. Now we ask you this. If you were to stand in a doorway to a new vibration, a new way of being expressed as you, what would hinder you from stepping forward? As we said, the fear that there will be no new room certainly is one, but that is not the real one, and that is not the real fear. The real thing that keeps you back is the belief that you are not worthy of the kingdom. And we will do something for you, and we will do something for everybody who hears these words. We will tell you something different, and we will claim you in a new way. We know who you are. We know why you have come. We know how you serve. We know how you stand in your merit, how you decide, how you lay claim to your future, and how you love. We know who you are, and if you give us the right now, we will do this for you. We will say these words and we will announce them to the world. To all who hear our voice, to all who say yes, I say yes. To all who say yes, to all who claim the kingdom, we ring a bell. And the bell is an announcement. The bell is an annunciation of all that will be, and a renunciation of all that has been. And in the vibration of the bell that we bring into being, we clear the frequency of each one who hears our voice of the manifestation of fear, of being in her own worth, of fearing herself, as believing herself, himself to be unworthy of love and the creation of the kingdom that is now at hand. Now the words we speak are being spoken to your hearts. The words we speak are being spoken to your souls. The words we speak are being spoken to you throughout time so that you may dismantle the structures that you hold that keep you in your purview as the one who is not allowed to step over the threshold. Imagine now that we stand before you each. And as we claim your purview, as we see you in your worth, as you choose to go with us, you stand, you rise, and you raise your voice to say yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am worthy. Yes, I hear my own words and I declaim that I'm no longer willing to set foot in my history as my present. I decide that I'm no longer willing to limit my expression by what I was told I once was. That I will live my life in accordance with my frequency that I lay claim to on the other side of the threshold. Yes, I am. Yes, I am worthy. Yes, I hear my own words, and I declaim that I am no longer willing to set foot in my history as my present. I decide that I'm no longer willing to limit my expression by what I was told I once was, that I will live my life in accordance with my frequency, that I lay claim to on the other side of the threshold. The manifestation of God as man is the kingdom made manifest. Do you hear our words? The manifestation of God in man is the kingdom made manifest. And how you attend to these words and consort with your own soul's worth is what gives you the right to incarnate at the level we speak of. Now damn yourselves all you want to. Unforgive yourselves all you believe you must. That does not change a thing. You are still worthy. You are still worthy. You are still loved. So we will ask you this. We will ask the listener this, the reader if you like. As you stand before the door, imagine the door frame is filling with light. It's filling with light and the light calls you forward. As you stand in the doorway, you claim victory. You hear the bell ring and you move your own vibration in accord with its peal. You sing the song of the bell. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. And you step forward to claim manifestation. Now you will feel this. You will feel your vibration transform as the one who said yes. And as you feel this, let it align you at a molecular level to who and what you have always been. A perfect child of the Creator who knows her name, who knows his name. I sing my song and worth. I see my destiny before me. I see the kingdom as it is made manifest in my expression. And I witness the world before me in transformation. I call myself to my new name. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. And I sing the song to my fellows as I perceive their face. I know who you are. We are all of the same frequency. I know what you are. We are all of the same flesh. I know how you serve as you express yourself in your beauty, in your choice to be seen. And I'm your witness. As I am your witness, I know who you are as word. I'm word through the ones I see before me. Word, I'm word. I feel better. You guys feel better? So we'll probably come back to this. I'll probably reference this at some point. You know, feel free to comment. It's a journey, you know. Sometimes I fall down. And that's okay. Girl in a body hanging out on planet Earth. Fun times. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for journeying with me. Thank you for sharing yourself. I know who you are in truth. I know what you are in truth. And how you serve in truth. You're free. You're free. You're free. You're beautiful, magnificent beings of light, and I'm honored to journey with you. Have a great rest of your day.